Hello, and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today, we're voiceovering the build for the first issue of the Disney Dollhouse because apparently my microphone was not on at the time. And right now, I believe I'm talking about how I like the way the packaging is. The only problem is if you look at the book on the left, it's going to be in French. So I'm going to watch the video and comment as I do because it's been over a week since I recorded this and I don't remember exactly what I said. Here I'm pretty sure I'm pointing out that it's in French. This is the initial book. I actually have it in front of me so I can just kind of look at it and make sure it. We've got the fold out. I believe, yeah, there we go. I open it up and you can see the interior of the house except for the cupola. That cupola is, I believe, Mickey's room, and it should as well be able to be opened up. There are, I believe, 10 rooms in the house. It is actually going to be a very cool build. I'm very excited for this. And so I think I'm about to say, let's get building. So this is where I realized there is I try to fold the book open like I normally do, but there's a couple of metal tabs there so that you can actually put this into a binder. And so I end up leaving it just open normal. And that's exactly where I point out the tabs. So I'm pointing out the pieces that are in here. It I don't know how many times I mentioned during this video, but I do know I mentioned at least once that this is going to be interesting because it's in French. And here I'm opening the box. There's only the first four packs come packed like this, and the boxes are pretty not impossible to get into, but they're pretty difficult to get into. What I was talking about right there is the ridges on the side of the box. Actually, I think, or the bubble pack. Actually, I think make it a little bit more sturdy, less likely to get crushed, but it also uses a lot more material. So here I'm getting the box open, and I will tell you the first four boxes are a little bit of a pain in the behind to get open. After box four, we switch over to the regular build, and there'll be much smaller containers that the parts come in. And you can also see right there in the lower right hand corner, it does come with a little bit of glue to start you out. I'm opening the bubble pack, being very careful, like always, not to shoot pieces all over the place. And you can see up there in the upper right hand corner that one of the window frames popped open. There's the glue. And I look at these windows and I'm like, wow, that is really cloudy and scratched up. And I said I was a little bit disappointed, but I don't remember when I realized. There it is. I'm looking at it and I'm realizing that there is a plastic coating over top, which the windows come out of that plastic coating pristine. I mean, they are beautiful once you peel the plastic off of both sides. So we've got the windows, we've got the door frames, we've got the glue. I don't use that glue. I have my own. I have two types. I use a glue called Weld Bond, and then I use just regular Elmer's. I should use Weld Bond more often than I do because it doesn't. The Elmer's doesn't glue quick enough or doesn't stick quick enough to really hold things together. So I'm looking at the instructions and figuring out how I'm going to start this. Flapping my gums a lot. So now this is the first time I take one of the doors out, and I was like, that is really cool because they are double sided. They have different color on each side of the door. I didn't realize that. I thought one was a white door and one was a pink door. Same with the frames around the door. And these aren't the door frames, these are the frames for the door itself. There's two with holes for the door handles, two without. Pink on one side, basic, not really white, more of a cream color on the other side. The pink will be on the outside of the house, by the way. You may have seen me actually say so, or pick it up and hold it up. Oh, there I'm showing that you can see the holes in the bottom and top of the door frame. That is where the hinge, quote unquote, hinge is going to be. It's going to be pins going in there, which is really pretty solid. Well, what I was saying is, you may see the pin vise there on the right on the pit stain sticker, and I mentioned earlier that that's how I'm going to do a lot of how I'm going to apply glue instead of using a cocktail or cocktail stick or toothpick. So here I'm talking about the inlay in the window. Actually, is really pretty nice. I don't know if I mentioned at this point that there are hidden Mickeys in the window or the door inlay for the windows. It is actually pretty cool. They're hidden. So far, I have found with this and with the door handles, I have found a total of four hidden Mickeys. And if you don't know, hidden Mickeys are Disney hides Mickey heads throughout the parks and throughout Disney stuff, just, as kind of an Easter egg. Now I believe this is where I'm going to take out all the parts because I'm going to build both doors at the same time, making sure that they are facing opposite directions. And you'll see I made a mistake. I will correct it and go, oh, wait, there we go. Realize that I need a white one on each pile and a pink one on each pile. And you can see there are pins there that the white one has holes that match up with. Very well designed kit. So we got the lower door panels that I'm moving over. And first, this is the first part of the furniture. It is really nice. It's plastic on the inside, but it is velvet or felt on the inside, or plastic on the outside, velvet or felt on the inside. Really kind of cool, the quality of this build. Got most of the parts out. Door handles, which I expected at that time that they would be used during the build of the initial build of the door, but they are not. You hold on to them until stage 4, only because that's what the instructions say. You can put them on earlier. And I know a lot of you are not going to be able to build along because with this, because failed to mention it. I did mention it in the when I did this originally. Failed to mention it in this voiceover. A friend of mine through Hobby Time Modelers actually had this. He has had the British one and the French one. He ended up getting both of them. And Brad reached out to me and said, "You're interested in the Disney house, right? Oh, that's really cool. The I beam or H beam or I-beam construction of the doors, and then the same on the tops and bottoms with the groove. But Brad reached out to me and asked me if I was interested in the house because I'd talked about it a lot on HTM. And I said, yeah. And he said, set a price. So we did. And he sent it to me. I still haven't paid him. I'm waiting for my bonus. As soon as I get my bonus, I will send money along to him. I don't even have his PayPal, but I will send money along to him to pay for this fantastic build. This kit is awesome. And it actually took me about 2 days to inventory all the parts. Now there, I'm talking about the fact that this is a very thin piece of cardboard, almost photo etch, but not quite. And I don't know if you caught it, but there is a hidden Mickey on that inlay. And they talk about the inlay in the instructions, telling you that where to put the hidden Mickey, because since there is one on either side of the door or either door, you want them to match up. So there I'm trying to line it up with the pins. Between the door is a little bit complicated. There you can see the hidden Mickey again. I just pointed at it. I don't know if I was pointing at it so much at that time, but I had just covered it with my finger there. Okay, so I'm looking at how this goes on here and having to remind myself that when I'm doing, I had to remind myself several times when I'm doing the pink side of the door that it's got to go a certain way because I end up gluing from the white side of the door. And I think I'm about to stop flapping my gums and finally get to work on building things. Maybe. Okay, yeah. So it says to just glue the corners, which kind of surprised me at first, but it makes sense in the long run. And you can see it's white on this top and pink on the front on the fascia. So here I'm using the Elmer's glue rather than the weld bond, rather than a wood glue. And since I haven't used this glue in a few days, I have to mess with it. I don't remember if I paused or not to clear that because that needle does get blocked every now and then. This is where I'm discovering that it does not stick that quick, so I'm having to hold it. Don't remember what I'm pointing at there. Holding it, I'm going to try and put this panel in, and it fits really, really well. It's just that I have to hold it together while that glue dries. If you build wooden models, the key thing is to use a glue that is going to stick quickly enough that you don't have to mess with it, don't have to sit there and fight with it to keep it straight. Right now, I'm trying to re-straighten it because every time I touched it, it kind of shifted. And I'm right here. I'm showing the fact that you only glue in certain points on the door. Those panels are loose when this is going on, and you saw there the panel just fell off, or the side piece just fell off. So I think I'm going to apply a little bit more. Yep, there I go. Applying a little bit more glue here. Be liberal, but try not to get too much on the face of the parts. It actually does show a little bit. putting it back together, and I believe this time I set it off to the side and just go work on the other door. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to put the middle piece in. You will see in this video, these doors keep falling apart on me. It's kind of entertaining, kind of irritating. So now the lower panel, and they just slot in so well. The Moomin house is actually pretty much the same way. Matter of fact, what I need to do in a video, or at some point, I need to compare those doors in size because I believe the Moomin house is really close to the same scale. If that's the case, my Moomin house will probably go from being just a Moomin house because it's for my wife, my laugh. It will probably go from being just that to it will be Disney slash Moomin, and I'll end up with characters from both franchises in each other's house. Oops, almost put the white side forward. Actually, I think it fell off and I'm regluing it. Rest assured that when this is done, these doors are very solid. One of them was not 100%. I mean, it was less than a millimeter off, gap wise, but I'm sure it will fit in the house. And there goes the bottom again. It will fit in the house, and if it doesn't, I'll have to do some slight adjustment. I'm sure that they're going to be just fine. As it is, these doors you build in stages 1 through 4, and then you got the whole door frame done. Well, in stage 4, which I haven't done yet, you build the frames around these doors. But once that is done, you set it aside until stage 117. So, if I have to do some adjustment to it, I have a long time to do it. So I'm sitting there trying to make sure that I don't shift the pieces as I put them down. And I believe I only built one of the doors on camera. I think the other one I paused and put it together. And to be honest, the second one went together a lot quicker. You can see I'm still messing with this door, trying to get everything lined up to be perfect. I should set it off to the side here in a second. Right here, I'm trying to make sure everything lines up top and bottom, left and right. And there we go. Set it off to the side very carefully and didn't touch it. Do I pause the camera here or not? I don't remember. Here I'm talking about that's just Elmer's. Let's use the stronger glue. Let's use the weld bond that cures a lot quicker. And it does. You'll see this door, if I did it all on camera, this door goes together so much quicker. Trying to make sure I build this the right direction. That piece slides in there. And I don't know if you can tell, but it actually sticks a whole lot quicker here. the same thing. It's always the first one is always a little bit slower, trying to make sure you got everything going together right. So put this one in, and then the bottom, and you can see that actually stuck a lot quicker and easier. I think I had that one backwards. Now, if you watch, I don't think the bottom ever drops off on this one. Apply a little bit of glue on top and bottom, or on the end of each of the posts. Put this together, and you can see a little bit of glue did squeeze out. But I will wipe that off. There we go. I think I get a Q-tip here. I think. Yep. Reaching for the Q-tips, going through and getting the glue as much as possible cleaned up on the seams. That one, I mean, if you look, that one went together so much faster. And this one is finally sticking. So that's the last page. That I should still be putting the windows in. I think I'm going back to make sure where they go, and I looked and made sure that those doors do match up. Those are actually the front doors to the house. So now I'm talking about how the frame, the window and the frame go together. Could have done an off accent and did the white on the outside, but I did not. I just did it per the instructions. So the first thing I got to do is you set this in the inlay, and making sure that your hidden Mickey is in the right spot, because the two doors have to complement each other. I lay that in, and the blue piece falls out. So now I turn it over, put it back in. I think I'm about to set the door down and have to fight with it again. Yep, there we go. Set it down over here where it's in camera and more in front of me. I believe I'm getting a purple glove now, so I don't put fingerprints on the window. Hey, look at me go. I know what I do. So I'm peeling off the backing from both sides of the window, which is why I have the glove. I don't want to put fingerprints under the inlay because I can't get the fingerprints off there, and I'd prefer not to put fingerprints on the inside where there is no inlay. Once you get a hold of this backing, it does come off really quick. And I'm dropping it all over the place. Of course, trying to peel that plastic off with gloved hands does not work very well. There we go. Both sides are now clear, are now free of the protective coating, and look how beautiful that window is. That is just gorgeous. So I realize I can't just drop it in there because I got to put the window, the frame, and the inlay in. And then once I get it there, I will drop in the glass. I realized just then that I can't pick it up with my hand. It's being a little bit picky. You can see I did touch the surface with my fingers. I did not get any fingerprints on it though. Just a light touch. So now I'm going to hold that in there, and if I remember right, I dry fit the white part, and then it's a little bit iffy to get it back out. Here we go. Got to dry fit it, and it is a little bit tricky to line up the four pins, but once you've got them lined up, it is beautiful the way it goes together. And you can actually it does I think it does come off pretty easily because you see there it popped up every time I pushed on it. So pull this back off. And actually once it does go on there, it wants to stay there. So I believe instead of going directly to it with the bottle of the glue, yeah, here we go. I'm going to use the pin vise and I'm using the pin vise instead of a toothpick. Pick up a little bit of glue, put it on the point at the top of the pin. Do the same on all 4 points. It doesn't have you actually put it around the edges of the window. Everything is point glued, which is it's kind of neat. Very sparing on the glue, at least now. And I did mention in the when I was doing this that I didn't want to use super glue because I don't want to frost the acrylic window. That would just suck because it is so beautifully clear. Now I'm trying to get it relined up. It's funny, once the glue is on, it doesn't line up as easily as it did with the glue not on. But the key thing is, once you get one of them to go into place, you just kind of hold that one in on its pin. Hold it onto that pin and then press all the way around, and it should just grab and hold. Still messing with it, trying to get it to line up right. And I believe, there we go. So now I believe I bring in some clamps. Yes. And I didn't do what I should do. If you use clamps on wooden kits, make sure that you put something between your wood and the clamp. I fortunately didn't have anything um, mar the surface, but you can really screw up the surface of your wood if you don't have something between the wood and the clamp if the clamp is dirty. Right now I'm rummaging for more clamps because I don't like that one. I prefer the plastic ones. Metal ones aren't bad, but those are the ones that leave the marks more often. I think that I only did 5 clamps, making sure everything is still lined up. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I was going to put the door handle on, but I realized it doesn't go on yet, so I put it up there in the chair so that it does not get lost. And so I'm going to do the same thing on here. I don't think, though, I'd do it on camera because I know how long this video is, and either I didn't do it on camera or I lost some video. Let's see. Yeah, see, there we go. I did it off camera, and the doors look beautiful. So I'm going to take this opportunity because there's about 2 minutes left of the videos to say like, subscribe, and come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. Links will be in the description. Hope you're enjoying this. I am loving this build so far. I think it's going to be fantastic, and you can see how great those windows look. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video. And we're just going to let this run out because I still have about another minute of video left. But I did want to get my outro done without missing it. So let's just watch the video. And here is where I'm doing my outro, actually. But I say the same thing for every outro. Oh, by the way, like, subscribe, and comment. I answer all comments. All right, so we're drawing down, and I will catch you in the next video.